It was supposed to be another Washington caper. Blow into town and do my job. You know, sweetheart, say hello to a couple of politicians and big shots, find out the facts, and be on my way. But it didn't work out that way. No, not by a long shot. You see, this assignment was special. Very special. A new one for me, for the government, and a new one for Mr. and Mrs. America. And their kids, too. Yeah, especially the kids. You see, the job was to eliminate all unreasonable risks. You don't get it right away, huh? Well, that's okay, because I didn't either. It was Washington, D.C. in 1972, October 27th to be exact, and the United States of America got something brand new, all wrapped up in one bill. Technically, that bill was Public Law 92-573/S.3419 Consumer Product Safety Act. But what it really meant was that something was going to be done about the 20 million injuries that sent people to hospital emergency rooms, the 110,000 permanent disabilities, the 30,000 deaths, the $5.5 billion it costs our nation each year. Okay, so what happens then, you ask? Well, let me begin at the beginning. That would be nice. Yeah, nice. But not the NICE variety. Something new. NICE spelled N-E-I-S-S. It means the National Electronic Injury Surveillance System.
NEISS, N-E-I-S-S, stands for the National Electronic Injury Surveillance System. This constitutes a first in data gathering for the federal government. We gather data from 119 hospital emergency rooms across the nation for all product-related injuries treated in their hospital emergency room on the previous day. From among these, cases are selected for in-depth investigation so that we can determine how and why accidents occur, and the Commission can take appropriate remedial action. Consumers today live in an ever more technical environment as new technology produces new products. The most recent technology in computer sciences, as applied in the NEISS, are designed to help protect consumers against many of the hazards inherent in those products.
Our hospital is one of many that is involved in the NEISS system. We see sometimes as many as 200 product-related injuries per day. What I do is I get my emergency room records here. I go through and I pull out the ones that are product-related injuries. I then in turn break it down into numerical order. After doing that, I go to our teletype here and I send that to NEISS.
Here in this emergency room, we see between 5,000 and 6,000 patients on the average per month. About a tenth, or 500 of those patients that we do see are accidents and injuries resulting from consumer products, mostly in the home type accidents. The types of things that we've been seeing most commonly are injuries resulting from the power instruments such as chainsaws, lawnmowers, or electric hedge clippers.
Chances are some poor chump just took it on the chin. Now he's blaming himself. But that's not always the case. There's lots of other reasons. For example, the product malfunctions could be faulty design, or maybe poor quality control when the product was made. So just because it happens to you, Mr. and Mrs. America, don't take it on the chin. It may not be your fault.
My name is Bob Gannett from the Consumer Product Safety Commission. You remembered I called you yesterday? This is Miss Simpson, also from the Commission.
How do you do?
How are you?
And we would like to ask you some questions about your husband's accident.
All right.
Our branch function in the Commission is to conduct on-site investigations, and this is the activity that we're performing at this time. NEISS gives us a certain amount of information. It acts as an alert system. From that data, we know that a person has been hurt and a product has been involved, but we don't know to what extent.
Where were you when the accident happened?
I was out back doing my vegetable.
The reasons why we conduct investigations simply are to determine exactly how the person was injured and how the product was involved in that particular accident. Friday night, did you do anything special?
Well, we did go out to a party.
Did you get home kind of late?
It was only about midnight.
About midnight. How about anything to drink?
He had a little to drink.
It's not a case of us blaming any one product for an accident happening. There's often a combination of things. Oftentimes it's a very close interrelationship between the product, the person, and the environment.
I ran up to see what I could do for him, and then I went and called the ambulance when I saw how bad it was.
Did it take them very long to get here?
We're really concerned about the people aspect of this kind of an activity.
What kinds of shoes?
He was wearing sneakers.
It's a very personal activity that the Commission is involved with. We are dealing with the people right in their own backyards and right in their own homes. These things are happening to all kinds of people, young and old and everybody in between. And our activity, our investigative activities particularly, is going to be the grassroots for determining what course of action that the Commission will or will not take. Any idea how he was feeling that morning? Do you have any...
Trying to prevent accidents like that is one of the reasons the Consumer Product Safety Commission has regulatory authority over 10,000 different consumer products, and also why they set mandatory safety standards and sometimes ban, that's right, ban certain products. Take them right off the shelf. And you know, that applies to all products coming into this country from abroad, too. Just like it goes for the products made here at home. In fact, the Consumer Product Safety Commission has guys out investigating at plants and warehouses to make sure that those products live up to the safety standards that they're supposed to. You see, a company that violates the Commission's regulations can face fines of up to $500,000 and criminal or civil court action as well. Stiff, you say? Yes, it is stiff. But when it's human life and limb you're out to save and protect, you tell me what's stiff. What's the price? You know, it's a funny thing. When the Consumer Product Safety Commission first came into being, a congressman said that the guy who runs this agency was going to have more power than a good man wants or a bad man should have.
Chairman Simpson, it appears to me that your commission has adopted a rather unique position as far as the openness question is concerned. First of all, could you give us the reason for this? And secondly, is it working?
Let me answer the second part first. I hope it's working. I believe it to be. It's been described certainly as unique among federal agencies, and I'm surprised really to hear that, because all we've done in our openness policy has said that the public's entitled to know what their government's doing. And we formalized that by saying not only are you entitled to know what we're doing, but we'll make it easy for you to find out. So we have a meetings policy that requires that all meetings of commission staff, any of us, including myself and the other commissioners, with outside parties, are open to the public. Anybody in the United States can come in and observe and or participate.
Well, I'd heard that before, so I wanted to try it out. You know, sometimes it's kind of hard to get to talk to Washington big shots. But the Consumer Product Safety Commission was supposed to have a hotline where you could dial direct, anytime, day or night.
U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, may I help you? Yes, sir. What product is involved in this hearing? Yes, it is open to the public, and if you'll give me your name and address and telephone number, I'll be glad to have someone advise you.
Are you sure that you follow? Yes, sir. Well, these cribs were the ones that were manufactured between February 1st and June 13th of 1974. Do you have the model number on your crib? And what is it? Yes, that is one of the ones involved. You can take your crib back and get your money back on it.
Jurisdiction. No, it isn't.
Thank you for calling.
But I'll be glad to have someone in our compliance bureau get in contact with you.
And you even get your dime back. But there's more to it than that, much more. Because if you want to know more about consumer product safety, they'll come to you. Just like last week.
One of our missions is to assist the consumer in evaluating the comparative safety of consumer products. We conduct consumer sessions or orientations such as this with organizations like yours to help get the word out. We want to use you to take the word of product safety to your constituency, to people in your areas. We want to teach product safety through you.
What can we as a group do to promote product safety?
You can be observant. When you see a product that you think should be taken off the market, call or write the commission and tell us about it. We want to hear about these products that are unsafe.
If we have a complaint and I would like to write a letter, to whom would I address it to?
You would address the letter to the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission, Washington, D.C. 20207.
I was wondering, are they doing anything to make the little homemaker toys, like the little stoves and some of the items like cotton candy makers, any safer? My son bought one and the heating element gets extremely hot and he burned himself on it without, doing too much to get into it.
Yes, there are additional studies going on at this time.
Burns, like most accidents, involve the transmission of energy to the body, be it mechanical, electrical, or thermal. But the accident itself results from the interplay of three basic elements: the user, the product itself, and its environment. And for example, in bicycles, if we can only address the product in terms of 17% of the injury, we have to look at, in some way, in modifying the approach, attitude, and awareness of the user of the bicycle, and to separate him from some of his hazardous environment, for example, like building bicycle paths.
We're related, and I guess the principal function of the Bureau is to reduce the chemical hazards from consumer products. And we're making constant evaluations of consumer products and what the relative risks of using these products are for the American consumer.
You might be interested in knowing that my 6-year-old showed me how to open one of these safety lock aspirin bottles.
I think it's probably too soon at this point to tell if the regulations regarding special packaging requirements have had any demonstrable effect on the ingestion experiences of children, except for one category, and that is aspirins, where there has been a very significant decline in the ingestion experiences involving this particular product. And I think we can probably attribute that particular decline to the advent of the safety packaging.
My husband just bought me a television for my birthday, and it has a strange odor, and it gets extremely hot, and even when it's off. And I was just wondering what I should do.
I would unplug that television and get it to the nearest repair service.
If you were going to use a television set and it wasn't grounded properly and you were shocked, you'd have a shock hazard. Certainly, this is an unreasonable risk. If you're going to use a detergent in some way, shape, or form, and it was going to produce adverse reactions, for example, dermatitis to the skin, or was going to produce irritation to the eye if accidentally spilled in there, I think it would be only proper and fitting that the manufacturer label the product to show what the liability is going to be, even when the product is accidentally spilled or misused. So unreasonable risk really depends upon the product. To eliminate all unreasonable risks is what this nation and its people started out to do. Is the job done? No, sweetheart, not by a long shot. But with the Consumer Product Safety Commission slugging away and Mr. and Mrs. America behind it, who knows? Maybe America will be a better place, a safer place for all of us, especially the kids. Yeah. All those kids out there with one less strike against them, one less chance that they'll have to take it on the chin. Good night, sweetheart. Say, buddy, if I was to say America had set the goal to eliminate all unreasonable risks because 20 million of us each year wind up in hospital